off the tight end in motion. A first down throw for Bridgewater. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage, and you just want to give yourself a nice, simple throw and hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word go.
After the interception, here's Ryan. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal.
What we're seeing from the defense here is a group of guys bearing down, trying to help out their quarterback after he threw an interception. Good stops on the first 2 downs. It brings up a key 3rd down.
Here's Ryan to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Vikings coming out here again to take over on offense. And this is a crew, obviously, that was so close, Charles, to becoming the first ever team to play a Super Bowl in their own stadium. So disappointment in that last game against Philly. But overall, I think they've got to be pretty pleased with the season.
They have to be, because they put it all together. Won the NFC North. How about that win over the Saints in the divisional round? I mean, I don't know that they'll ever top that in terms of getting something done late in the game, especially with what was on the line. They do get Dalvin Cook back at running back next year. I think they'd still like to have a little more speed at wide receiver. But all in all, this team comes back pretty well intact and will be a force for a while.
Yeah, that defense is pretty set.
Very much so. I mean, try and move the ball against their front and then try and throw it against Xavier Rhodes. Good luck to you.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. The slot man in motion right. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Forced out to his left. And he's got some space here. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now a 2nd down run for Murray. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he's able to find Diggs. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Well, maybe that'll help him settle back into a groove after the interception on the first drive here, picking up the first to start drive number 2.
And it is just starting over, isn't it? Sometimes it's just how you have to do it. You have to erase things from your mind. Don't worry about what happened before, because over the course of a game, the good players, things turn out pretty well for them, and that's what he's trying to do here.
If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. Now Bridgewater. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
I better raise my voice a little bit here because one thing we can already tell, even in the first year in the league with this new stadium, it's going to get loud in this place.
Yeah, the old place was loud, but I think we're getting a sense that this place is going to be louder.
Yeah, they're riding that momentum of that 2016 team that finished their year in the Super Bowl.
Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it. Bridgewater now. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 6 on the play there. And that leads to a Minnesota first down. Bridgewater. That is caught at the 7. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 28 yards. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. Forbath out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Dances by him. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now it's Ryan, eluding the pressure right. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
On first down, Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Ryan drops it off for Coleman. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I think of Tevin Coleman as a really good combo back. He can run it, but in terms of being a third down back, I think he ranks with the best in the league.
So good at leaking out of the backfield. Ryan finding him there for the Falcons first. Now Ryan on first down. Flushed out right. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A very solid gain of 27. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now Ryan on second down. Flush to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Ryan. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
Now receiver in motion left. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. So on 4th down, off goes Matt Ryan, and on is another Matt Bryant. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, their offense has struggled for sure, but they get the field goal here and at least get on the board before half.
And that's not something we should underestimate, because just getting points on the board can sometimes have a settling effect on a team. Helps them start their comeback.
Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back to the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game, not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
Get ready! Tiger!
Slot man moves right. On 1st down, Murray. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A second down throw for Bridgewater. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's right. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Let's go. Wide 80.
Diggs going in motion right. First down, Bridgewater. And this is incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They'll run it now out of the gun. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
He'd had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll run here. It's Murray. And some room to work. Murray has the first down and more. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray, a 23-yard run. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Whoa. He just yanked that one well to the left and no good. Forbath out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. To throw again is Ryan. Going underneath, it's Coleman. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Again, Ryan. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as the clock will start. Stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Now a first chance for the backup here to throw. On the screen, this is Coleman. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. To throw on 2nd down. Knight throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Looking to throw. Knight. And he's got Sanu. Touchdown, Falcons. Mohamed Sanu, 66 yards. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
2nd down following the run. Bridgewater. Throw left side complete. That's right. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22. 10th carry of the game now. Murray. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Second down, Bridgewater. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Let's go.
On first down, Knight. Now he's going the other way. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
All right, here we go. Blue, landing. Blue, leopard. Over.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue,
On third down, Knight. Eluding the pressure right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And a big tight end shifting around. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Going deep for Diggs. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Second down now after the incompletion.
let's go. Hey.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Here's Sanu on the catch. And he'll be knocked down sideways. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play, stepping out from the middle of the field and really making a big hit. Did not get free, but, boy, that's a tough area to go into when you're going into his spot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
That was a good, strong run there. And while it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. 13 all our score as we start quarter number 4. So the offense has it 1st and 10. From the gun, Knight. Flushed out right. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Open space inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman, a 23-yard run. And the Falcons have taken the lead. And they will take a 7-point lead now. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Diggs in motion left. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Brooks Reed in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Play fake. Bridgewater. He'll rifle this one deep right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Desmond Trufant, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They will run again with Coleman. And 3 yards there takes them to the 45. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Back to throw. Knight. Flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Here's Matt Bosher now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just...
Latavius Murray. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray, 94 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. Able to slither by. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On 1st and 10, Knight. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Brought down around the 16 or 17. Showed some tough running, but couldn't free much space. A good convergence there defensively. Only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Even score late in the fourth. Let's see if the defense can play within themselves, not give up the big play and contain, and keep this knotted up. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Knight escaping the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Here we go now.
Operating from the gun. Knight. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And now out comes Minnesota. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Again, it's Murray. Room here to run. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here's Bridgewater. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. He was looking for Jarius Wright that time. That'll bring up second down. Now a give. This is Murray. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Only a yard in the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Short gain, last two plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. The Vikings on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Little motion now from the tight end. Bridgewater to throw. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. 18 yards there and a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. There's guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Shift together here from the D-line.
Get ready. Way 90. Way 90. Dagger. 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 Dagger.
They go with Murray again. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. In position for the possible game winner, but they need to get up and spike it. To throw, Bridgewater. And an alley to run. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's
a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Andrew Sendejo. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
I know some teams are leery about playing cover 2 because a strong safety's not usually a terrific cover guy. But in this case, he played it perfectly. Read the football and went and made the interception.
Throwing here, Bridgewater. Going deep for Diggs. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.